All right, we are live on YouTube. Welcome, YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube while it's live, we're going to put a link in the comments down below of where to join the live webinar. So let me get that over there. And I'm going to hit record, and then we are going to get started here. And if you're late joining, just go ahead and drop us in the chat where you're calling in from. Got a bunch of people jumping on the call. So hello and welcome to another complimentary LifterLMS training. We're going to be looking at today LifterLMS 5.0, which rolled out recently, and LifterLMS custom fields. Those two kind of rolled out at about the same time. So I'm Chris. I'm the CEO and co-founder of LifterLMS. LifterLMS has many people that work there. You may have seen my face, but there's a lot of talented folks at Lifter who make the magic happen, that help build the product, support the product, and make all the things happen. So it's been a great effort and event getting to LifterLMS 5.0. We're almost 7 years old, which is amazing. LifterLMS, the project, will turn 7 in October of this year. So we're getting really close to our birthday. I just want to welcome again the people live on the call. We've got Z, Zachary, Will, Sim, Anyeka, Norella, Martin, John's in the house from down under, Ismail, Graham, Gary, Dominique, Daniel, Colin, Bonnie, Alastar. Welcome to the call. We got people from all over the world here. It's what I love about the LifterLMS community and kind of WordPress in general. We're a very international crew. So thanks for showing up wherever you are coming from. And I want to encourage you to stay to the end, because we are going to be doing a giveaway. And I've also got a surprise promotion for you at the end of this presentation. So stay to the end. If you are watching and you do need to bounce, that's okay. We are going to be sending out a replay after this is live. So we'll, if you registered for this, be sure to check out the replay if you have to leave before we're finished, or if you're watching this later. This is on the LifterLMS website. We have a webinars area where you can see past webinars like this. So this is going to be an interactive session. So if you have any questions about LifterLMS 5.0 or custom fields, that is the content that we're going to be talking about today. I'm going to do a live tour with screen sharing and stuff. I'll keep an eye on the chat and stuff, but I'm going to save most of the questions until the end. If you already have a question specifically about LifterLMS 5.0 or custom fields, feel free to drop it in the chat so that I can see it. And then also you could use a Q&A box, but we'll take most of the questions there at the end. And yeah, that's what we're going to get into today. So the first thing I just want to go over is, as part of the launch of LifterLMS 5.0, we do have a promotion to celebrate what's going on. And basically what that is LifterLMS custom fields is an add-on for LifterLMS. It's an advanced add-on. It costs $240. We also have custom fields is available inside of the LifterLMS Infinity bundle, our bigger bundle, which is $1,200. And for the next 72 hours, you can get either custom fields or the Infinity bundle for 20% off. So if you use the coupon code FIELDMAGIC, all one word, we'll put that in the chat. That's going to give you 20% off. If you're looking to upgrade and you already got something running and you need some help with that, just send us an email at team@lifterlms.com and we will hook you up. So that's the promotion. Again, this is just to celebrate the launch. We're doing it for 72 hours from the start of this webinar. So this is being recorded on Tuesday, July 27th at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So go use the coupon code Field Magic, all one word, to get your discount. So what I'm going to do first is talk about the what custom field or what LifterLMS 5.0 is and what custom fields is all about. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen with you. So if you're new to LifterLMS or you haven't purchased it yet, we have this thing called a demo site that you can try, which is basically exactly what you're looking at here, which is a WordPress site with all the premium LifterLMS add-ons installed and some sample content. So everything we make in the Infinity Bundle is here so that you can try everything before you buy. But I'm essentially using one of our demo sites so to go over the new 5.0 features. So as I go into the back of the website here, just to kind of frame it all in, every WordPress site has users, and these users, have information about them. We all think of users as having email addresses and passwords. So, but there's all kinds of things. Like when you add Lifter, you can collect their first name, their last name. You may use that on a certificate. You've got the email address. You could have their actual billing address in there. But what ended up happening is people wanted to be able to add their own custom information or custom fields so that they could collect whatever they want from the user, like a company name or something like that. In order to do that, we had to re-envision how the LifterLMS registration process happens. So you'll notice over here on the side of your LifterLMS site, if you're on a 5.0 or later website, when you add the you click on forms, there's these 3 form areas. So basically the way this works is there's 3 forms that people can fill out that kind of update their user information. We're all pretty familiar with the billing information. So this would be like the checkout form. So, and what we've done is in LifterLMS 5.0, we have moved the forms into the standard WordPress block editor so that you can essentially create and modify your form. Like, maybe you don't call it last name and you call it something else, like surname or something like that. Maybe you want to put some different placeholder text here. And basically what this allows you to do is in this WYSIWYG, or what you see is what you get, form editor, we can start modifying the checkout form however we want to. And when we go into, let me just back out of here, go back to our forms. You can also have people that are registering on your site without necessarily enrolling in a course. So you could collect a bunch of information right here. Maybe you want to collect the first name, first before the email address. So you can use the standard WordPress editor to manage these forms. And some of these fields have various settings that you can modify over here as well. So if you look over in here, you've got the well, all the fields are present here, so I can't add a new one, but you can see here, like there's these form fields that I can start, adding into my form. So what does that look like on the front end? I just want to make sure everybody's clear on what it is we're actually doing here. So if I were to go purchase this course as a regular user, let's look at this one. Looks like this one has 2 access plans on it. And I'm just going to open an incognito window, so I'm logged out. If I go to purchase this course, this is the checkout form here. So we could start modifying this form. But then what if we want to edit the form in such a way that we collect other information? This is where the custom fields add-on comes in. But before I get into that, what is also super cool with this, let me go back to my logged in site here, is that we have built a shortcode builder based on the feedback of people in our community. And I'll just do a quick demo of how this works. So imagine you had a page of content and you wanted to insert some kind of user information into content on a page or anywhere else on the website. So what you could do here is over in here, you see these, LifterLMS has the rocket, you've got the short codes right here. And I could put in, a user's first name right there. So this is the new shortcode builder, which allows you to not only LifterLMS 5.0 allows you to not only to better create and manage your forms, your user forms, but you can also display that data in interesting ways using our course builder. So check that out for sure. And then the next thing we want to look at, I'm going to jump out of there, is LifterLMS custom fields. So let me just check, see what I've got installed here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and activate LifterLMS custom fields. And so that's active now. And when I go into my forms, you can see that there's now this add new form button. And so basically what this allows me to do is create a form that for something else, like maybe I want to have a specific registration form for a specific course or for a specific membership. So I'll just call it the members only registration. And then you can see over here, I'm going to go ahead and publish that. And hold on one sec. You can see over here where it says manage location settings. This is where, if I wanted to associate it with, let's say, the business membership only, I'm essentially attaching this registration form to that membership. So you can see how with this custom fields, we can now, start having different registration flows on a per course or per membership basis. We can also even drill into the individual access plan. So let's say that the one-time payment, we needed more information for some reason. We could do that. The registration is for that specific access plan. So if you are using LifterLMS, you know that we have access plans, which are basically they do everything that any membership plugin would do. So LifterLMS, you don't need a separate membership plugin. It's all included. And these forms are just a part of, that registration flow so that somebody can purchase, sign up, and get access to what they're supposed to get access to all in one user experience optimized flow. So that is there. And now the cool thing is you can see over here, we've got these custom user information, these new blocks that we can add. So basically, the way to think about custom fields is a form is, we all know what like a contact form is. And basically, But a contact form is made up usually with a name field, an email field, and then a message field. So those are like different types of fields. So what custom fields is it essentially allows you to build whatever kind of field you want, but not just text. There's actually all these different types of fields that you could request. You could have checkboxes, you could have radio buttons, you could have a drop down that people might need to select something from. A text area is kind of like a message field, like a text area versus a single line of text. So like something like what's your favorite color would be a single line text, whereas if you were trying to collect more of a summary about a person or their a history of something, you might use a text area where they have more than one line to expand what they're talking about. Input confirmation groups is where you want to make sure people don't get something wrong, like maybe they got to put their email in twice, or we need to make sure that they're basically confirming that they're definitely putting in the right information. An email field, a number field, phone number, website URL as an example. So let me back out of here and just use a global form just to show you. So there was the members only registration form. If we just edit our global one right here, what I'm going to do is just add, let's say we also want to collect a company name. And let's say we want to make that required. And then let's say we also want to collect a license number. So sometimes people use LifterLMS for CEUs or continuing education units, where they may want printed on the certificate the company that that person works at and their license number as an example. So this is just one example. And then if we want to get a little fancy, we can do a radio button. So I'm just adding some options here, and I'll just do one more, which is, let's say the course or the membership comes with a t-shirt, and people need to do small, medium, large, and then XL as an example. And I'm going to go ahead and click update there. And the cool thing is you can also preview your forms. So if we look at this one, you can see here on our checkout flow, this user is already logged in. So it's actually smart. It knows that it already knows who I am and knows what my email address is. So it's not asking for that, but you can see the custom fields that we've added here. So let's say that my user Samantha worked at Amazon, or let's call it Amazon Real Estate is the name of the company. And my license number is this, and my t-shirt size is that. So this site is currently in test mode, so I can just put in this fake credit card number basically. And 12, 12, oops, 25, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm gonna go ahead and check out. Oops, there's a test site, so let's just refresh that. Oh, no payment selected. There we go. It's kind of tricked out a little bit because I am technically not, I'm already logged in. So let's see if that gets it through for demonstration purposes. And I got my stuff in there. Buy now. All right, so I just enrolled in the sample course. But now if we go in the back end here, you can see that under the users, if we look at Samantha here, this is the user screen we're used to seeing, but you can see how we've added custom fields to this user that happened to, in this case, we captured these through a test use of the billing form, but you can see how that information is here. And what's cool with that is, if we were to build a certificate, we could start putting in that data. I can see Will's excited about that. Will, I was thinking about you when we built the feature. So basically, I'm not going to build a whole certificate here, but you've got merge codes you can put in, and using the new shortcode builder, we could actually have a we could merge in Samantha, company name, license number, and so on into the certificate. So that's like just one example of how you could use it. Some other examples. Let's go back to our form here. We could also have something like I'll put a single line text like this. Sometimes we want to know an emergency contact. And perhaps we would also want the emergency contact phone number. That would just be another example. There's literally, the options are truly limitless of what you can do here. And just to kind of help cement the knowledge in here. So this is a checkout form we're looking at here, but also when your students are on their student dashboard like this, you can see there's an edit account over here. So this is also another form that the same user can use, this time as a logged in user, to update their information. So over here, they can, they can update it. But in what we were just doing, we just used a custom field only on the billing field. So if we wanted to add to the edit account form, let me show you how that works. Go in the back here, LifterLMS, forms. And so that's the edit account we were just looking at. So if we click edit over here, oh, I think I needed to, let me go back to my other one. I think I need to save it as a reusable, deal. Let's see. Form settings. Yeah, I might have to rebuild that as a reusable one. Oh, here it is. Add to reusable right here. So let me just test that theory. Add to reusable blocks. This is the license number. Save. Cool. So then if I were over on my edit account, where is it? Is it down here? I might have to keep playing with that to get that right. Still learning this a little bit myself. I'm not sure where I messed something up there, but anyways, you can, the way to think about that when you're building these is that you can create a form field that's used once, or you can create it so that it is used globally. So let me just cruise over to the docs for a second. LifterLMS, custom fields, docs. That's the old way. Here we are. So this goes over how to do everything I just showed you. So I'm going to put that in the chat as well. LifterLMS, custom fields. And yeah, so basically, just to recap the core concepts here, and sorry if I'm talking slow, I'm like talking and building and doing all this at once. But LifterLMS 5.0 introduced the ability to manage your forms with the default WordPress editor. So all the standard stuff is now over here. All the form fields that come with LifterLMS by default. When you use LifterLMS with custom fields, LifterLMS custom fields, you can create unique forms that can be used attached to certain courses or memberships or even individual access plans. And within your forms, you can create custom flows of whatever information you want to collect, selecting from these various types of form fields that you can design whatever you want to collect. So that's what it's all about. And if you want to do what I'm doing, like if you just want to play with it and you don't have LifterLMS yet, or even if you do and you just want to just try it out on a sandbox site, you can click this orange button, lifterlms.com/try, and sign up for a 30-day demo for $1. And basically you'll get the exact same website that I have right here where I'm just playing around with it. And LifterLMS with all the plugins are installed. If you're testing custom fields, depending upon which version of the trial you have, we don't have everything under the sun turned on. So if you want to test LifterLMS custom fields, be sure that's activated and take it all for a test drive. So also, I just want to touch on what's coming next at LifterLMS, because we get a lot of questions about that. There's hundreds and hundreds of feature requests of what people want, but I'm always open and transparent about what our priorities are. So the next major release of LifterLMS is all about LifterLMS PayPal 2.0. PayPal's API has gotten to a point where we can do what we need to do to make LifterLMS and work well with PayPal 2.0. So that's like our next major focus now that we're past 5.0 custom fields. So that's what's coming next for LifterLMS. And one more thing, we do have a something to help with in the notification system where people are wanting more notifications around upcoming payments. So the team is also working on that as well. So I'm happy to jump into questions, and if I can show you anything, Who's got a question about LifterLMS 5.0 custom fields? Happy to take something. Kathy, if you would, you mind emceeing questions? Let me see here. I think we lost Kathy for a second. She must have lost her internet. Let me see. Let me check the chat. So I'm going to start working through the chat questions here. And before I do, just as a reminder, if you use the coupon code Field Magic, if you use the coupon code Field Magic in the next 72 hours, you're going to get, it'll work on either custom fields add-on by itself, so you can save $60 there, or you can use it on the Infinity bundle, and that's going to save you 40 plus $240. So use the coupon code Field Magic for that. So Alistair asked, can you use the custom fields on a feedback form at the end of a course? So let me explain this. You could, if you wanted to. Well, custom fields for us is more about user fields. So what we're collecting information about the user. These are like user fields, if you will. They're not necessarily like contact form fields. So you, in theory, you could do that. So like in the last lesson of a course, as an example, what you could do is you could have an assignment or something where somebody is supposed to go to their account form here and then add some kind of feedback course. We'll call it course feedback, and let's make that a required field. So when they open up this edit account form, they're going to be required to update that. That being said, you may want to use, that's why we have the integrations with the form builders. So if you look at LifterLMS.com, you'll notice that we integrate with the most popular form builder. So Gravity Forms, WP Forms, Ninja Forms, and Formidable. And one of the features of these is that if you're using our integration with these form plugins, you could create a custom feedback form on a last lesson, and it would require people to complete that form. That's more of just like a form to collect data. And then that would show up in the reporting. You could also technically use our quiz builder or assignment add-on to collect feedback as well. So there's actually like a lot of different ways to do that. But I would think about, just for your knowledge, custom fields, LifterLMS custom fields is more about collecting user information. So I hope that helps. What else we got? Oh, thanks for letting me know that. That wasn't sharing my screen. Let me reshare there. So just what I was saying is these four, I'm on the LifterLMS.com website, and then these four form integration add-ons. One of the features of our integration with these popular form plugins is that you can require somebody to complete a form. So yeah, to your question, there's several different ways to do it. Cool. Sounds like Will, you got custom fields installed and you found it. Glad you're working with it. If you run into anything, feel free to reach out to the support team with that. And then Daniel's got a question. let me in the Q&A. Let me pull up the Q&A. I can't figure out how to delete blocks from the built-in registration form. When I open the More button on the address block, for example, I don't get an option to delete the block. I'm setting up a textbook site for students already enrolled in a university course, and I don't need to collect a lot of registration info. Perfect. Let me show you how to work with that. And then, so basically, let's go to the registration form. So some of this, or we'll do the checkout form or the enrollment form. Okay. So some of this has to do with the WordPress block editor. Like it takes a little bit to figure out how to drive it. And I like just the other day, I found out there's this neat little thing where I can like navigate and see how things are nested. I just never clicked that button before. That's pretty useful. So what I'm saying is there are features of just learning how to use the WordPress block editor that just takes a second to learn. And sometimes this nesting thing gets confusing. But anyways, to delete something, I like to collect first name and last name, like especially if I'm going to do a certificate and I need to know their name so I can print it on the certificate when they complete the course or get to complete the course track. But this is just learning how to drive the block editor. Like I can do a bunch of different things here. I could click here and start modifying the field title. I could modify the placeholder text. I could modify the description text here. And then when I click on it, like not in these exact areas, but more, let me try to do it. There we go. More broadly, I'm like controlling this whole component as a whole. And then you can see I have options over here. But then if I get my mouse just right, I can select this whole row, which is the name, the user name block, which is a first name and a last name, which has its own settings. I can make them side by side or stacked. And then if I want to delete that whole row, I just click on remove block and you see how that disappeared. So that is that's how to drive that. And then if I did that by accident and I wanted to add that back in, what I would do is go up to here and I would just re-add it. So you see how I just click that button, I re-added it. If I want to move it to the top, I can move it up or down. So part of it is just learning how to drive this WordPress block editor. There's another thing over here. There's this top toolbar thing that some people use. Like there's all these like little features that spotlight mode like kind of only shows you exactly what you're working on. So I would encourage you to just kind of play around with all the different options here and you'll find the workflow that works for you. But yeah, there's a learning curve. I know it can be a little like finicky and frustrating, but it's because it's so powerful and there's so many options. It just takes a little bit to figure out how to drive it. So I hope that's helpful. If I could pass it over to you, Kathy, to run the questions. Who do we got next?
There's a question from Graham. Can form fields be locked once submitted? For example, input data on registration that cannot be edited by the user at a later date? And then also, are conditional settings possible in the forms?
That's a good one. So a user is able to update their information. So like, for example, if I have an email address and then I decide I want to change my email address, or maybe my t-shirt size changed or my emergency contact is changed, they can edit it. What I will say is the way I would create that experience is I'm just going to leave here. Let's say I was collecting something on the the checkout, like the initial enrollment, what we call the billing enrollment, but it works for unpaid enrollment as well. So let's say I made the license number required on checkout, but then it's no longer available for them to mess with on the edit account screen. So if I go to my dashboard and I click on edit account, this is actually a good example. I don't have the license number field here, so they can't edit it. So to answer your question, yes, it just comes down to your strategy of which forms you put those fields on, if that makes sense. There's not a locked feature per se, but you can control where that field is available. And the opposite, sometimes people do the other way where they want the enrollment to be super simple and just do email address and password, but then they want to collect more information on the edit account screen or something like that. So there's actually a lot of strategy that goes into it. Just think about your flow, and it can likely be designed. And what was the second part to that question, Kathy?
Are conditional settings possible in the forms?
There is some conditional settings, like visibility is really what we've got. So let's say, let me block. Where's a good example? Get this thing going. So you can see down here, like I'm on the phone number, and on the side over here, we have the enrollment visibility. So you could display this form field conditionally based on enrolled users, let's say in a particular, they have to be an enrolled user. Let me see if I can find a better example. Display to, so they might have to be logged in, it's available to everyone, or enrolled users in a specific course, and so on. So there's some conditionality there, but in terms of if you're familiar with a form plugin like Gravity Forms, which has conditional logic, this doesn't have that kind of functionality, if that's what you're referring to. Cool. What else do we got?
Oliver on YouTube was asking, can you also edit the forms with Elementor using LifterLMS by Tangible?
I would have to defer you to ask Tangible plugins on if they've added that feature to LifterLMS. So I don't know the answer to that myself, but this is it's very common for people. This is so basically we built the form builder to work with standard WordPress. And so this is here. This doesn't mean just because this uses the block editor for managing all your form fields, it doesn't mean that you can't use a page builder like Elementor, Beaver Builder, Oxygen, or Divi in other parts of the site or in other places. So, but I couldn't get into the details with you on how what LifterLMS is doing there. I am, by the way, interviewing Ben Pines from Elementor on LMS Cast Thursday this week. So maybe so we'll be having a chat about Elementor and LifterLMS users and how people are doing things together in that people using Elementor. So look forward to having that conversation on our podcast. Who we got next?
Ronaldo was asking, is there a latitude/longitude field in the works?
Not yet, but I can't remember if we already put that through onto the feature request board or not. I think you might have done that. I wonder if the number field type would work for that. for now. So latitude. So I don't know. And I'm also not sure if everybody knows their latitude and longitude, and doesn't it change if they move around? Because these are user fields, user information fields. So anyways, we don't have that one. There are various, there could be more field types than these 10 that we have though. So I appreciate you bringing that up. What else we got?
I think that was all of the questions.
Cool. Awesome. John saying, could you not use Google Maps or something? You could definitely do that. It's just not we don't have a Google Maps interface for for this particular form. But I have seen, by the way, people doing things on LMS websites with Gravity Forms and Gravity View to create like a user map. I think it's one of the main use cases of Gravity View. So that's something to check out. And we did interview Zach Katz from Gravity View on our podcast, LMS Cast. So that's something to check out. But excellent. So thanks for the questions. I appreciate it. Thanks, folks, for bearing with my demo. It's hard to talk and type and demo at the same time. So appreciate you being here. Again, we do have a promo for the next 72 hours. If you do not have either the Infinity Bundle, which includes LifterLMS custom fields, or the custom fields add-on by itself, you can use that coupon field magic. So if I just purchased just that add-on, I could check out and buy that product right there and save 20%. So if you're watching this on the replay, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I think Friday at 2 p.m., if my math is right, is when that 72 hours would be up. So check that out. Also, we do a giveaway on this call, on these webinars. So thanks for staying to the end. So we're going to draw that winner here. And once that comes up, you're going to get a free, what were we doing, Kathy?
It's 1 year free of one of our $120 a year LifterLMS add-ons.
Awesome. And if you want something else, we can, you can apply it on there as a discount. We'll hook you up on something else. And also, if you're already a customer, we've got a way to hook you up. So while that's getting pulled, oh wait, hold on a second. Cool. Ronaldo Novoa is the winner of the free year. So congratulations to Ronaldo. Just shoot us an email at team@lifterlms.com and we will hook you up with your winnings. I want to thank everybody for coming. Thanks for checking out this presentation on LifterLMS 5.0 and custom LifterLMS custom fields. Use coupon code Field Magic if you want to get custom fields and get that rolling on your site, or use that on the Infinity Bundle, which gives you access to everything we make. And again, if you want to take what you saw for a test drive, just go to lifterlms.com/try. And you can get a site just like what I was playing with if you want to play around on a sample site with demo content for just $1. So want to thank everybody for coming. Thanks.